Hey guys, in this video I'll be talking a little bit about the weaponry trial in Sword of Convallaria. As you guys know, there are three weaponry trials, trial 1, 2 and 3, and what's really notable is stage number 7, because stage number 7 in each of the weaponry trial represents the first time where there is a small chance that you can actually get legendary weapons when you complete the trial. Now the chances isn't 100% and I think it is rather low, but it's not too low where you never really see. So as long as you do trial number 7 every day and you sweep the stages every day, you'll eventually gather a healthy supply of legendary weapons. So for that reason, the earlier you can unlock and complete chapter 7, I should say trial number 7, then the earlier you can start your daily farming for your legendary weapons. Now for the weaponry trial, there is no minimum level required. You just unlock the next stage when you defeat the previous stage. So to unlock number 7, you just have to complete 1 to 6. That being said, stage number 7 is difficulty level 50 for all 3 weapon trials. So if you want to complete and 3 studies to unlock the sweep function, what I would recommend is to only do this when you are level 45 across all your characters at least. Level 45 is also the level that I completed these 3 trials, and I will take you guys through all 3 trials and things to look out for and the strategy that you can use to clear all 3 trials. Now to unlock the 3 stars and the corresponding sweep function, you can see that the requirements are actually rather lenient overall. So you just really need to complete the stage in 15 rounds and without having more than 2 units defeated in battle. So the one takeaway here is that they are very generous in turn count. 15 rounds is a lot, really a lot of rounds. So the key, if you are trying this at level 45, is to not try to rush through the stages, because the Calamity boss does a lot of damage. And if you are not paying attention to the mechanics and you just try to, go face tank the boss and go into melee range, you'll soon find yourself with a lot of KO'd characters. So the key across all 3 trials is to obviously pay attention to the boss mechanics, but also very importantly, take your time. Don't rush through it. 15 rounds is a lot, and because one of the requirements is survivability, you should actually prioritize survivability more than defeating the boss. Now throughout the recordings, I didn't actually record my level 45 run. I was attempting the clear without the recording. So what I did is I went through back and re-record the battles again. So in the recording, some of my characters are about level 47-ish, but like I said, the initial time that I cleared was at level 45, and it is very doable at level 45. Mainly because at level 45 you also unlock rank number 9 with the corresponding skills and stat boosts. So as long as the team is decently balanced and you keep your team updated, in terms of weapon, armor and tarot cards for the stats, you should be able to overcome the level 50 stage 7 trials when your characters are level 45. So that's it for the intro. I'll head on to each of the 3 trials and take you guys through as we go along. Starting off with weaponry trial number 1. Now the key to weaponry trial number 1 is using ranged units, because as you can see right here, the boss cuts melee damage by 50% and counters melee damage as well. So there's really no point bringing in melee units to attack the boss. You want to use ranged units such as archers, or at least magic units such as barrel. Now my one weakness in my roster is I don't really have many range units. My best is actually Nangal, and since I have Fakel for free, I put him there as well, but I don't actually have any other mage based DPS. The rest of your party beyond the range and magic DPS should be healers and supports. You really do not want to try to attack the boss up front. As long as you keep this in mind, stage 1 is fairly easy. Now the other mechanic is the boss sometimes lights up specific tiles on the floor with stigmata. The only thing you have to keep in mind is do not stand by your characters on the tiles that are lit up. It's okay to walk past them, just do not stop on the lit up tiles. And really that's it. You don't really need a lot of range units, just one key one that you've obviously built up will do, and you can use a mage DPS as well, that should work fine. In fact, in my re-recording here, I also messed up on the tactics. I forgot to set my tactics. I changed it for the previous battle, and normally I use Pursuit Order to allow Nungle to attack twice in one turn, which would have significantly sped up the re-recording. But anyway, I've done it by like round 6 or 7, which is way more than the 15 rounds that you actually needed. So first things here, you notice that there are 2 tiles lit up, the one under Maita and the one under the Inanna's guard. So as soon as you can, move out of the lit up tiles and then just position your characters roughly somewhere around the middle of the map. Set up the turns to buff your range or magic DPS as much as possible, and then just have them attack the boss from far, and that's really it. Over here I got greedy and I tried to sneak in one melee attack with Maita, which is really a mistake. I wanted to do that because Maita had a debuffing basic attack that debuffs the boss with defense down, but really it's not worth it because you can see that the counter attack from the boss ate up a big chunk of Maita's health, and it just made it a way lot harder to heal through. So really just don't do any melee attacks on the boss and you'll have a much easier time surviving the boss's attacks. Now there are 2 variants of the boss's AoE attacks. One of it is right here where you can see that the 3 tile wide range of squares in front of the boss is all marked. You just want to get out of the way, so just move all your characters out of this red box. So move to the sides of the map and you should be able to avoid this attack. There is a 1 round leeway that the game gives you before the bosses unleash their attacks. So during this round you want to prioritize moving out of the way. Again, don't worry about damage, you have a lot of rounds to damage the boss. Go for survivability and move everyone out of the way is way more important. So this is the big attack that the boss unleashed after charging for a round. I have everyone out of the way except for Maita, so again, kind of a sloppy play here. Maita ate a big chunk of attack that I now have to heal through. This is the other AoE that the boss can do. Notice that the 3x3 space around Maita is now marked. The second form of AoE follows a unit, so in this example the boss targeted Maita, and wherever Maita moves, the 3x3 square will follow her as well. So what you want to do here is to just move that unit out of the way as much as possible. Again, reminder, do not stand by on the stigmata tiles, the tiles that are yellow highlighted. And when this character is lit up, you obviously don't want to bring the character close to others, otherwise to be caught up in the AoE. So just move that character away, let him or her take the attack, and then the rest of your range units can continue attacking the boss. So I moved Maita furthest away, and now the boss is still targeting her, but at least only Maita is being targeted. I did end up losing Maita to this attack, partly because I had a lot of sloppy play and she kept eating attacks from the boss. She ate the counter attack from the boss, and then she ate the large AoE attack from the boss, and now she's eating the third attack. So the first 2 was really avoidable. I did not, and it led to Maita dying. Even then also, it still doesn't really matter too much because you can still 3-star the quest with up to 2 characters dying. So if you lose 1 or 2 characters, it's not the end of the world, just continue your onslaught on the boss. And like what I'm doing here, just slowly whittle the boss away with range attacks or magic attacks, and stage 7 weapon trial 1 is done. This is about 3 to 4 rounds after. Really, you can complete this even if you only have 1 range or magic DPS character. 1 is really all you need. Obviously, the more you have, the faster it goes. Now this is weapon trial 2 stage 7. This is really the converse for stage 1, where here you don't want to use any range units, you want to melee the boss. Now the main reason is because of this boss trait right here, where the boss gains a stacking buff called Wrath of Thunder each time the boss takes a ranged attack. The easiest way to get around this is to simply not use any range attack. This buff is not dispellable, so really don't use any range attacks at all, and you don't have to worry too much about this. This is one of the attacks that you need to take note of for Weapon Trial 2, which is the Thunderbolt Extra. Now for this attack, the boss always targets the unit that's furthest away, and it does physical damage to that unit, and also lands a debuff that prevents healing on that unit. The easiest way to get around this is to have your best physical tank just stay at the back of the arena and act as a lightning rod. Anytime the boss does this attack, it will always hit the target because he's staying at the back of the map and furthest away from the boss. If you have the trinket that prevents the healing received debuff, equip this character with that and you'll be able to heal through. If not, you have to make sure that one of your units also have the ability to cleanse debuffs so that you can remove this debuff and heal that character as he or she takes damage from this attack. This way the rest of your party should be safe anytime the boss uses this attack on its turn. This is also another reason why it's just better not to bring any range attacks. The boss outright reduces the damage from range attacks by 40%. Now this is the most important mechanic on this stage. Once every few rounds, the boss will do an attack called Shackles of Fate, where the boss picks the two closest unit and will debuff them with Voltage Shock. The Voltage Shock debuff is very obvious. Characters that are hit by it will have a lightning discharge sort of glow on them. At the end of the turn, the Voltage Shock will be dispelled, but the characters will let loose an AoE lightning attack all around them, but this attack affects characters in a cross-shaped pattern. I'll show an example later in the fight, but the idea is that when characters are debuffed by this, you want to take the rest of the round to reposition the entire party so that nobody stands in a cross position with the two units affected by this debuff. This is very important because the damage from this is very big, and you will already have two units that will be getting hit by this, so you want to try to heal through only two units obviously if you can. That's pretty much it. The last attack is really nothing noteworthy, it's just an AoE knockback. So at the start of the battle, you want to have your entire party move forward while buffing yourself up with any relevant buffs, while you move the lightning rod character to the back. In my example here, I used Inanna's Golem as the lightning rod attractor. Now the further away the character is from the boss, the less damage the character will take. But that being said, do not move the character all the way back, because the Furious Wallop attack that the boss does on this character also knocks back. And if you notice, there's a cliff at the end there. So if you move the character next to the cliff, the knockback will push the character off and you also sustain fall damage. The best is about 2 tiles away from the edge of the cliff, where you should be able to survive the attack with some decent defensive stats. There is no point bringing in a lot of melee units. There are only 3 tiles in front of the boss that you can do melee damage on. You cannot attack the boss from the sides are not traversable. So any more than 3 melee units is rather pointless, because you then have to rotate units in and out, and you'll just be wasting time doing that. Rather bring maximum 3 melee units is my recommendation. Everything else should be buffers and healers. In fact, even just having 2 melee units is enough for this stage. You should prioritize healing and buffs more, because once again you have a big leeway of 15 rounds to complete this fight, and 2 melee DPS is more than enough to get this done. In fact, you'll likely finish by round 6 or 7 doing that. I use 2 healers, Inanna and Angel. Angel also has the ability to dispel debuffs, which can remove the healing receive negation that the boss will place on Inanna's golem. This way I can keep healing the golem, and the golem can act as a lightning rod for the battle. On the left hand side in front of the boss there's also one stone, so you want to try to break the stone early on so that you can open up the space there for a melee unit to stand. At the start of round 3, the boss will use its first Shackles of Fate. Notice here that Maita and Ravia has this lightning glow around them. This is the indicator where they will soon erupt at the end of the round. So for this round, focus entirely on repositioning your party. This is vitally important. If both of them erupt on the same character, it will likely kill that character off because the eruption deals a lot of damage. What you want to do is position Maita and Ravia so that nobody else is standing in the same line horizontally or vertically with them. All you have to do is just draw a line horizontally and vertically across these characters and make sure nobody is standing there, and that's it. So find a space for everybody to stand on this round. Don't worry about damage. Even if you deal 0 damage to this round, it's fine. You have a lot of other rounds to kill off the boss after this. So this is the positioning I took. Notice that with this, when Maita and Ravia erupt here, nobody is standing in the line and nobody else gets hurt beyond these two. So you only have 2 characters that you need to heal after this. After the first Shackles of Fate, this is where you want to try to push in as much damage as possible. Here the boss does a knockback attack, which isn't too bad. You just have to move everyone ahead again, and the damage it does is not too bad. But notice also the boss summons 2 minions onto the field. Now the minions here are static, they don't attack anyone, but you do want to try to kill them off. The 2 minions have an aura debuff around them and they weaken characters that are around them, so kill them off. If you've damaged the boss significantly by this point, maybe you can just forget about the minion on the left and then just continue your onslaught on the boss, but I would recommend to at least take out the minion right in the middle. From here it's just rinse and repeat until the end of the stage. This is the second time where I have to deal with the cross-shaped discharge. This time Ravia and Gloria is debuffed. So I just positioned my team as such. Maita is standing in the way and she will get hit as well, but because the boss is so near KO, that I thought it's worth the risk. And I just have to heal 3 characters, which isn't too bad, with 2 healers in my party. Weapon Trial 3 is by far the easiest. and this is the key mechanic behind. At the start of the match and every few rounds, the boss will summon minions. Killing the minions will damage the boss a little bit, but will also increase the boss magic attack by 4% per kill. One thing to take note of is that this stacking buff, in contrast, can be dispelled. So if you have a dispeller, you can just dispel the buff when it stacks up to a certain degree. That being said, you can actually do this without a dispeller. I don't actually have one, and the idea is just simply kill the boss before the stacking buff gets too out of hand. For this stage, you can use any DPS, melee and range, so it's best to use a combination so that you can maximize damage output in the tight arena space. This is the reason why you want to kill the minions. While the minions is up, each minion will give the boss 15% damage reduction up to 45%. The minions themselves are extremely squishy. Usually you should be able to one-shot the minions, so just take them out and remove this damage reduction buff that the boss gets. This AoE attack that the boss does also increases damage if there are minions in the field when the boss uses this attack. So really, as long as you kill off the minions, you don't have to worry too much about the mechanics of this stage. Every once in a while, the boss will buff itself with a physical shield. When it does this, all you simply want to do is continue attacking on the boss to break through this shield, because the boss will follow up with an AoE attack that does damage that scales with the remaining shield value that it has. So as long as you can kill off the boss's shield, you don't have to worry about this. So let's go at the start of the battle, kill off the minions, and then head on to the boss and pummel the boss. That's really pretty much it for weapon trial number 3. So here I've already killed off the first round of minions and I've positioned my party. Nungle is sniping the boss from afar, and then Ravia, Maita and Gloria is up front pummeling on the boss. This is the boss's skill that grants itself the shield. You'll notice the very obvious bubble around the boss. Like I said earlier, when this happens, just proceed to focus on the boss and break through the shield as quickly as possible. The boss also summoned new minions, but there will be time to remove them. The shield isn't very tanky to begin with, so as long as you focus on taking it out as quickly as possible, it shouldn't pose too much of a threat. Once the shield is gone, focus on taking out the minions and then return your focus on the boss once the minions are down. Rinse and repeat, and that's it. Hope this video has been helpful, and good luck on clearing Weapon Trial 7 and starting your legendary weapon and trinket grind. See you in the next Sword of Convallaria video. Bye!